You can be in a new home under $75,000. We wanted to let you know that there's different options that you can choose, and we just want to put it out there. Some of our customers' budget, they got like 50 to 80 or 90K. So what we did is we took one of our modular home floor plans. We do the interior framing. The second thing we're doing is number 3 is we do all your. The fourth thing that happens, which this is the coolest part, that is what's included in our 75%. I'd say 90% of our business would be the finish outs, because most people, they don't want to do any of it. Like an 18 by 52, you can be all in for under 170,000. Everything done. I'm talking your concrete done, tied down to the foundation, hookups done. If you have a septic, you have a front and back porch already built on, you've got skirting around the house. We don't go cheap when we put, the stuff that we're putting in there.
Everybody has a different situation. I know I have a construction background, and I don't want to pay for something I know how to do. I could buy 75% complete, I could do everything myself. 100%. However, on the other hand, I got my cousin. He doesn't know anything about construction. When it comes to computers, he's smart. He makes a lot of money because he's on that. So I know for a fact that he couldn't build himself. However, he has the money to come buy a full turnkey home.
It just helps production out back know exactly what your change orders are.
Welcome to the Tiny Home Podcast, the #1 podcast in the world, talking about modular homes, tiny homes, and everything about housing pretty much, right? Kyler, tell us a little bit about this podcast today.
We're going to talk about everything that most people don't know about SaddleBrooke, and that's why today's episode is going to be amazing. Super excited to get into the more nitty-gritty of everything that we do here at SaddleBrooke. So everybody that watches this podcast, you can understand fully what our company does. So super excited. Hey, let's get right into it. And if this podcast helps you in any way to educate you about the housing market, everything that's happening, go ahead, give it a like, give it a share, and comment down below. And if you have some questions, go ahead and leave that comment right now. Let's get right into it.
I love it. This topic is very interesting because I think it actually brings us back from where we started, right?
Absolutely.
If you guys don't know, SaddleBrooke was basically a shed company when you started. No, 12x16 was the one that started.
That was the first one.
So I love that, and then it transitioned over to like shells, and now we do full turnkey homes.
Correct.
But let's talk about a little bit of what's the difference between a shell and a turnkey home.
Yeah. So SaddleBrooke offers 3 types of different homes, which number 1 is a shell. That is 4 windows and door, and I'll come back to what's included in a shell. Number 2 is what we call a 75% finish out, which is, I'll go over the details of that one. And then the last one is a finished home, which is our modular houses, that it comes in a full complete package, which we talk about all the time. So let's start off with the shell, which back in 2020, when I believe that's right when COVID was happening, we were business about 2.5 years then. We slowly got into, I seen a market where the housing, the DIY projects was really going off. And I was like, okay, we need to tap into that. So a shell basically is in the dry home. It's what I call in the dry.
Just for people to get a little bit more context, we could say a shell would be basically a shed, right?
Correct.
4 windows, four walls, the roof. Like tough sheds, everybody's seen those Home Depot sheds outside.
Correct.
Something like that, but now we're talking about a bigger space.
Correct. And our shells can go anywhere from a 12 by 32, I believe it is, to all the way up to 20 by 60. And those are customizable the same way as my finished home. So that's the cool part that most people don't know is back in 2020 when we built them like a shed. But now we build our shells exactly the same standards as our modular houses. So includes where you don't have to just have 4 windows a door. It doesn't have to look like a shed. We can make a shell look like one of our finished modular houses. It just has nothing on the inside. It just has 4 walls up, and it might have all your windows. It might have 10 windows. It might have the dormer windows. It might have 2 exterior doors. And we can put all the windows in the right place. Most people are like, well, what about a floor plan? Well, we actually built the floor plan for when you get that shell, you know exactly where those interior wall framing is going to go.
So basically what you're saying, just to make sure I'm on the right page with you, is doesn't matter if you buy a shell or a turnkey home, you always have to start with the floor plan.
Correct.
You design a floor plan. That way you know where your window placements are and your door placements are. Is that correct?
You don't want to get the home and my window placement isn't, you don't want a 3x5 window in a bathroom or above your kitchen window because your cabinets include, a certain window to go above the cabinet. So we make sure that our shelves are built with the same standards. We build them with the same floor plans. There's just nothing that's done on the inside, which is budget friendly, which we have down here, a couple different things. The pros, lower upfront costs, greater customization opportunities in the end. If you don't like some of the interior things that we do, you can have go to Home Depot and buy all the things, which you can watch videos on TikTok of all these big 4,000 square foot homes where you can do some of those finishes inside of the shell.
And I'm just thinking why would someone just buy a shell? And I'm thinking about what my customers have talked about in the past, and a lot of them it's number one, I come just during the weekends kind of a thing, so I can't leave everything exposed. Mm-hmm. So you have something where you can lock your stuff and still work on it. Mm-hmm. It is a lower cost up front. I mean, a shell, I think the max you could pay for a shell is about $38,000 on the largest
on a 12 by 32, you're looking at about $15,000. That's not with any windows, any extra on the outside, making it very pretty. 20 by 60, you're in the 50s. That's going to be your upfront cost, basically to get you in the dry, to get it put out, delivered to your property. That's still set up with blocks tied down to the foundation. That's still some of those things.
Okay, and we're talking high end, right? We're just trying to make sure that you guys know the gaps between there. I love that. However, someone buys a shell, puts it in their property, and now they have their own time. Correct. They could do it however they want. It could take them as long as they want. I mean, I've talked to a customer 3 weeks ago, actually. Mm-hmm. Took them 2.5 years to finish their house. Mm-hmm. They bought a shell from us 2.5 years ago. They just finished it, and they're like, never again. And then they're showing me pictures it's absolutely amazing. I mean, they took their time. They took their time. Everything was very detailed and very precise. The home looks amazing.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of people back in 2020 when people wanted DIY projects, but they didn't, right now we're getting in the rainy season where you don't want your lumber getting wet. And that's the fastest way. If you want to be budget friendly, you want to do some of those, very particular about your finishes. That's a good way to get in the dry to where your materials is not getting wet. And you can still have that, if you're a carpenter or construction or a developer, you want to kind of do the inside yourself. This is a good start, I would say, 100%.
100%.
But it's not for everyone. I just want to make that clear. It's not for everyone because there's a lot that goes on the inside, which is what we're going to talk about next. We can take the shell a little bit further. This is what changed our company. We can take this thing a little bit further. We can get some of the harder things done, which is your main trades, and I'll let you go over them. But I believe this middle option, if you don't want to buy a finished product from us, I think this is the next best. Other than our finish out, this is the next best.
100%. Before we actually talk about that, I'm going to just jump ahead. I'm going to talk about the turnkey solution because that's going to help everybody understand what it is, right? A turnkey solution would be a home that has absolutely everything. Literally, it's ready for you to walk in the doors, put your clothes in the closets, and start living in it, mm-hmm. right? It comes with everything. Flooring's done. You got sheetrock, drywall, whatever you want. We do smart paneling, pine wood, whatever you want on the walls, and everything's 100% finished, mm-hmm. right? That would be a turnkey home. And now, especially with where we actually give you foundation, we do your concrete work, we could do your skirting, we could do your porches, we could do absolutely everything from turning raw land into a livable place in a matter of months. We could do the whole thing. However, this is very important. 75% completes. It is a game changer.
100%. So 75%, we created this back in 2022. This is what most customers don't know. And here's the interesting part. You can be in a new home under $75,000 and there's a little bit of work that's left. That's really good because for a lot of, that's some of our customers' budget. They got like 50 to 80 or 90K and they want to do the rest on their own. So what we did is we took a shell, we took one of our modular home floor plans, we put it in there. We do the interior framing, which includes all your bedrooms, your bathrooms, all your deadwood. Basically, we're getting it ready for you to put sheetrock up. The pine tongue group that I'm seeing right here, we're getting it ready, for that. Number two thing, the second thing we're doing is running all your electrical. which is your 200 amp service. We run all your plugs. We put the plugs in. We put all your breakers in. We put all the lights up. We put everything in basically that gets you ready for that. Number 3 is we do all your plumbing. So we'll do your plumbing for your water and your drains and your vents. So it's 3 things: water, drains, and vents. What we do in that is your water is plumbed out a different way, which if you come to our facility, you'll get a walkthrough of everything, how the plumbing works. But that is all stubbed out, ready for your plumbing, when the house gets to your property. The 4th thing that happens, which this is the coolest part, we spray foam everything after we're done. So we spray foam 2 inches on the walls, 2 inches on the ceiling, 1 inch on the bottom. That seals everything up. So a lot of people ask, like, why do you do spray foam? Why don't you go a cheaper route? Well, number 1, it increases the strength 200%. Number 2, it insulates all your pipes, your water pipes, and all that. So, and it's going to be better efficiency on your electric bill going down the road. That is what's included in our 75%. Really, those 5 things, or actually 4 things, that really helps you get a head start. So the thing that would be left if you bought a 75% would be your interior flooring, putting your sheetrock or your smart paneling or your wood up on your walls. Mm-hmm. That's the second thing. Third thing would be your kitchen, which is your cabinets and your granite and your countertops. The number 4 would be your interior doors and your trim out. In the 75% package, you do get a shower. You don't get the toilet. So that would be putting your fixtures like your sink faucets, your sinks, your toilets, doing all the trim outs around your interior doors and stuff like that. That's the thing. And then number 6 would be your mini splits. We put mini splits in all of ours. So there's those things is what you're going to have to do, the finish work, which doesn't take a special trade to get those things done.
No, I've literally heard a lot of people say, like, it was me and my wife doing it, Mm-hmm. It was 2 people, or, you know what, I bought it and my son did it for me, mm-hmm. kind of a thing. I think it's very important for everybody to know. I think the hardest part of everything is number 1 would be doing the framing if you don't have the tools. And number 2 would be your electrical, because it has to be certified. We do have certified electricians here, and I think those are the hardest things. And spray foam. Not everybody does it. Not everybody knows how to do it. And whoever does do it, and it's out in the market, they charge their leg and an arm sometimes. And
it's a timeline issue too, because getting somebody out there, you have to coordinate with them. And with today's market where contractors, it's a little harder to get contractors to show up. So when you have someone here that's dedicated just for that job, it just makes it easier for everyone. So that's really, I want you guys to comment down below. And if you're one of our customers that's watching this podcast right now, comment down below which one you bought and share on our Facebook. We love when our customers share what they bought. Hey, they send it into our email, or they send it to one of our salespeople. We love seeing what our clients are actually doing out there in the market. We've sold over 3,500 units now. We're getting close to 4,000 some units. So that's pretty cool of everything that's happening in the market. Here's the most exciting part. I think finish outs. We're doing 99% of our business. I'd say 90% of our business would be the finish outs, because most people, they don't want to do any of it.
No headaches.
They don't want any headaches. And we make it super easy for everyone that's in the market for a home that's looking. You can be in a home, most of my, like an 18 by 52, you can be all in for under $170,000. Everything done. I'm talking your concrete done, tied down to the foundation, your hookups done. If you have a septic, you can have, that is electric turned on, boom, you can walk in. Your porch, you have a front and back porch already built on. You've got skirting around the house. It is literally where you walk in, turn the switch up, and boom, you can move your furniture in, and you can, start cooking. You get we do stainless steel appliances in these. We don't go cheap when we put, the stuff that we're putting in there. So I still think number 1 in 2025, our number 1 product, number 1 home that we sold definitely was the finish outs. But today we wanted to come on here, me and Zeke wanted to come on here and really share everything that we build here. So everyone that's watching this podcast, everyone that are customers that has been to our facility and that is considering us as their next home builder, we wanted to let you know that there's different options that you can choose. And we just want to put it out there. I think that's the biggest.
I think it's very important for everybody to know, due to the fact that everybody has a different situation. Everybody is built for something different. I know I have a construction background, and I don't want to pay for something I know how to do, right? So I could buy 75% complete, and I could do everything myself. 100%. However, on the other hand, I got my cousin. He don't know how to work. You know what I mean? He doesn't know anything about construction. When it comes to computers, he's smart. Yeah, he makes a lot of money because 100%. He's on that. So I know for a fact that he couldn't build himself. However, he has the money to come buy a full turnkey home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just thinking about our personal where we are at personally, I think everybody's in that situation. And I mean, everybody's in a different time zone, different budget too. You know,
yeah,
budget's
I think
a big thing right now.
Yeah, I think that's, some people, that we're seeing, some of our clients, they want to show. They want to try it out. They want the DIY project. They want to get in the backyard. A lot of 75%. We saw a whole bunch of 75% where your electrical, your plumbing, your framing, your spray foam, that's all complete. That's done. And they might have where they've got a little dad and son project, or they know a couple contractors. They really in that business. That just gets you in the drive. So we're talking for 3 people. And if you're an investor right now, where we're selling tons of stuff to investors with these houses, which is crazy. The rents that we're getting with these homes, it's insane. The amount of equity when you buy one of these that you're gaining because of an on-site. It's a off-site home built off-site like a site-built home. And so I think that's the most exciting part. And then we're serving 3 different people. If you're a first-time home buyer, I can get you in a home for around $150,000. If you're a investor, I can get you an investor package. If you're wanting to retire and you want to downsize, which is really everything that we see, I've got a home that you can move wherever you want to. You can be close to your parents or close to your grandkids, grandbabies. You can have enough room in there, and you can live debt-free. I think that's the biggest thing of what we're solving with SaddleBrooke is we're making it to where people can be debt-free. We can make their dreams come true. We had a customer come in the other day from Arkansas, and if they're watching this podcast, I love that time that I had with them. One of our home experts, Travis, we were on the table. We were going through the whole design. He was showing me his property. It's his dream property up in the mountains, and he was showing me everything where the house is. He dreamed about that all his life, and now he got to be. We were able to make that dream come true by giving him a cabin. He always dreamed about that cabin on the mountain. Walks out on his porch. And he's looking over the mountain, over the sunset, and he's got like this 2 acres, or it was like 5 acres. He's got the chicken coop over here. He's got the greenhouse where he can grow all his things. I mean, when you're talking about a dream come true, it was a dream come true, and he was just about in tears when he left because of he had his son there, he had his daughter there, and his wife was there as well. And that right there is what it's all about. When you can make someone else's dream come true, that's what SaddleBrooke is all about. Is to bring and make those dreams come true to where we can build that cabin for you. Whether it's a shell, whether it's a 75%, or whether it's a complete package. We did a complete package for him. Porches, stainless steel appliances on the inside. We did everything for him. And he doesn't have to worry about anything. And knowing April when it comes around, his house was going to be delivered, and he's going to be able to go turn the switch on and move in with his family. I think that's the most amazing part.
I think that's super awesome. Dude, I'm just thinking about stories after stories of people that come in and always tell us that. You remember I guess it was like about a year ago, there was that one couple that bought 2 cabins, and they were going to put them side by side, and they were going to connect them with like a huge porch.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And it was crazy to like just be listening to their actual dreams. They're like, yeah, I'm going to have one. It's going to be my kitchen, my living room. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to separate it. There's going to be like a fire pit on the middle and then like an outside kitchen. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to have our bedrooms to the side. That way when grandkids come, they could all be in the kitchen. We could be in our bedrooms. And it was kind of cool like to just see what they're imagining. And then we had that other couple. They're doing like a community or something. Mm-hmm. They came in with the big vision board. I remember. Yeah. And they're like, here's my vision. How can we make this happen?
Yeah.
And things like that happen every single day, and I think it's super amazing to see those kind of stories. As a matter of fact, I did a video with one of our customers who went out to her house. She bought a repossessed, so a shell that we had sold to a person. They couldn't pay it. came back as a repossession. They bought it, and they literally had materials in it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we cleaned it out. It was not in a great condition. Like, it was pretty filthy, she said. But I just could see myself living in it. And I hope you guys go back to YouTube. It's somewhere in here. You get to watch the whole video. But she's telling me about, I brought the home. I was so anxious to live in it. I was choosing colors. My walls were still not made. Like, my son and my were taking care of it. I was just ready to live in it on all this. And then we're sitting in her living room, dude, and she's telling me the story. And then you could just see her eyes watering where she's like super excited to live in this home. And I was like, wow. Sometimes we take things for granted, you know? Mm-hmm.
We do. A lot of times we take it for granted of no matter what situation you're in, we really have something for every person that's really looking to, for the downsize or for a home. Yeah. But that's a cool story. I remember when she came in, I think when we repossessed that one, it had a lot of electric already done. It had some not spray foam, but it had some installation and everything done. But I remember I was the one that delivered that to her, and she was telling me about her whole dream of, her tiny home and finishing it out. So it's really cool to see those dreams come true, and to see that, these things, they're someone's life. 100%. And that's the cool part that we get to do every day is we make, and that's what we're here. But that's what we're here for. This is why we created the Tiny Home Podcast, is to really educate what we're doing, what we're seeing, really what the modular space, the tiny home space, the offsite space, what this is actually doing. And it's cool when people come in to look at our facility and they go like, wow, what the heck? We didn't know this was out here in the middle of nowhere. Where we're building everything. And it's just, we're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun, and we love what we do. We're very passionate about what we do. And we're here to change the world, whether it's one home at a time. We're here to change the world, no matter how long it's going to take me, but we're going to change the world. But yeah, it's story after story after story of all these homes that we delivered and the people's lives that we change. It really means everything to us.
Yeah, you know what would be super amazing? If you could come in, you could tell us your story and let us film your story from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
That would be super amazing. That's something we haven't done. I don't know why, but we are going to do it. We're waiting for the right people. That might be you today.
Yeah.
So if you're ready, all we have to do is jump on a phone. We could do an appointment. You guys could come in, tour the facility, and see what we're all about. Once you verify for yourself what we do, how we do it, and you see your dreams coming true with us, let us record everything. Let us send it to the public.
Yeah, and you can be a part of a story that could change millions of lives. We get millions of views every single month. That if you wanted to be a part of helping change the world with us, we would love to hear your story. We would love for you to be a part of it, and for us to be a part of your story, and to see how we can impact your families and your legacy. I believe legacy is one of the most important things. And the word for our word for the year for SaddleBrooke was excellence, which comes into legacy and everything. So it's to leave a legacy. So if you don't know if you want like a shell, you want a turnkey finish out, hey, drop your questions down below, or I want you to go to our website and you can do a factory tour booking. You can actually book it right on the website. You can come.
We'll leave the link right here.
Yes, we'll leave it right here. There'll be a link right there. You can go directly to it. You can book your own tour to our facility. Come meet our home experts. They'll take you for a VIP tour throughout the whole thing. You can see the whole process of how we build it, every little detail of everything. We're very transparent. We take you in the back where everything happens, where the homes are getting built. And here's the cool part. You get to see 40 of the other homes, the people of real customers that have bought their homes. You get to walk through their homes as well, which I believe is the coolest thing. So if you have any questions about a shell, which one is right for you, drop your questions down below, or go to our website, hit that booking link right down below, schedule your factory tour, or you can directly call us and we'll answer any questions that you have. I think that's it. I love it. Thank you guys for listening to the Tiny Home Podcast. We are the #1 tiny home podcast in the world. So make sure to share it with your friends, and you can be a part of our story as well. Thank you guys. Peace. Yeah.